Get ready to get in the game. Stretch, strengthen, live, and thrive. You can be a winning athlete in the game of life. It's the Peel Appeal with author and corrective exercise specialist Matt Heel.
Hey, this is Matt Peel with the Peel Appeal podcast. What's going on out there today? How are you in your world, wherever that world what may be? North America, Europe, Central America, maybe you're in Australia. Who knows? But that's a great part about what I do and other podcasters do is we can reach you wherever you're at whatever time of day or night suits you. So today's going to be a little bit different. I usually have guests on or I have a set topic that I've written out and going to talk about, which pertains to health, fitness, wellness, nutrition, things like that. But today's going to be a little different because I have no notes in front of me. I'm just going off the cuff, as I do often. And sometimes, truth be told, if I've had an adult beverage or two, can be more humorous and more inappropriate than other times. But that's all right. Today is not that day, but it is going to be a little bit more vulnerable today. I'm just going to speak a little bit from my experiences as why I got started into this business in the first place. It may not be as what you think that some people think I was just born with muscles on me and working out and doing everything the quote unquote right way. That's not quite true, although I have played sports my whole life and not really too much on eating a lot of junk throughout my life. I didn't start working out and exercising necessarily to be a trainer. I have a marketing degree. I went to college to do business and to do outside sales. And in a sense, that's still what I do with fitness and other aspects. It's still sales. It's not selling necessarily a product anymore, but it's selling a service. It's selling my own services. But I started exercising and working out because I did not like being the skinny kid. I wore glasses. I wear contacts now. And I played sports. And I was an above average athlete. And I played soccer in college. So I'd say I'm above average, not excellent, not elite, but I'll just say above average in any sport I can do. But I started with push-ups and push-ups in my room as a kid between 7th and 8th grade. I moved from California, where I grew up, to New Jersey, which was pretty traumatic. One, I didn't want to go, obviously, because you're in junior high, you're making friends, and your body's going through changes. And I've born and raised in the Los Angeles area. Why the hell would I want to move the opposite side of the country? But we did, and I went over there and figured, I didn't like what I thought was being the nerdy skinny kid. Even though I was on the soccer team and on the basketball team at junior high and learned how to play lacrosse, and made the B team as a first year lacrosse player, I didn't want to be a skinny kid, the skinny nerdy kid. So I started doing push-ups in my room. I would do push-ups and push-ups and push-ups. There was no YouTube back in 1987 or 88. There was no videos unless you wanted Jane Fonda and went to the video store and rented them or bought one on VHS. So everything was just whatever I knew to do, and the only thing I knew how to do was push-ups and then go to soccer practice or go to whatever practice I was in and work out in a sense that way at practice. Well, then my parents bought me a pull-up bar because I wanted to do more than just my chest and triceps. So I started doing pull-ups. And then I did pull-ups and push-ups, pull-ups and push-ups. And I had a routine, and I would do, I don't know however many I would do, however many I could, pull-ups and push-ups, like every other day. But no lifting weights. So that's where, for me, my journey started. Push-ups and pull-ups, the old prison-style workouts, right? They never go out of style. So I don't know where you're at as you're listening to this, where at in your fitness journey, why you started, but that's how I did. And it was just to stop being in my own head, the skinny, dirty kid with glasses. Then in high school, my parents bought me a curl bar with some weights. We didn't have a gym, we didn't join a gym. We moved down to New Orleans area, where actually I live now. And push-ups and pull-ups are great, but I wanted to do a little bit more. And in high school, at that point in time, in the early 90s, soccer players were not allowed to use the high school gym. And we did not have a membership anywhere to a gym. We belonged to a country club, but there was no workout facility there. That was just golf and tennis. And, I would try to bang my way around golf as I still do now. So I set up a curl bar and I figured out how to do shoulder presses and curls and bench presses by sticking some sweatshirts underneath my back. I didn't really do any legs because I played soccer in high school, but I might have done some leg things. And I would just do the various workouts that I could figure out in my room. Again, there was no YouTube. Computers was barely getting started. Internet was dial-up, so you had to make sure no one else was on the phone when you tried to use the internet. And it was just whatever is in my mind. Oh, and magazines. That's what it was, magazines. Muscle and fitness. Those types of bodybuilding magazines. That's all that there was out there. There wasn't anything really about fitness. It was just all muscle, all bodybuilders. So you wanted to be big, right? Everybody wanted to be big. Just put on size, put on size, put on size. And still this way with a lot of high school kids as I work with. And then in my after I graduated from high school, my parents bought me a gym membership at the local YMCA. So I went to the YMCA with one of my high school buddies who played football, and he taught me some things on how to work out, how to actually bench press and how to do other things, squats and deadlifts and work the other machines. And so I would go to the YMCA probably 3 days a week, sometimes with him, sometimes not with him. And then I got into working out. And then again, just magazines. That's all I had were different magazines and his knowledge and whatever someone else maybe in the gym might have taught me. And that's how I started getting into fitness. And then went to college and played soccer in college for a couple years and worked out at that gym. And that was on and off, on and off, on and off. Beer was very important. Girls were very important. Fraternity was very important. So sometimes that took the place of wanting to work out consistently. And then I got into an adult, graduated college, and then started going to the gym on a regular basis, 3 to 4 days a week. Had no idea that fitness would ever become a career. And then in 2008, lost a job and thought I'd get into nutrition store business with one of my high school buddies who I worked out with. And he's a fraternity brother also. And got my personal training certification as a way to get into the nutrition business, not really even thinking to be a trainer. And then when the recession hit, I couldn't get funding and I couldn't move from California. I was in California at that point in time to the Mobile area. And so I went and got a trainer job at 24 Hour Fitness in Laguna Hills, California. And then the rest is history from there. So wherever you're at on your journey in your life, I'm sure health and fitness has played somewhat of a role. Maybe not the same that has for me, but maybe something similar. And wherever you're at today, those things have shaped you into literally physically who you are now. But I encourage you to continue your journey, to learn new things, listen to my podcast, watch various videos, hire a personal trainer like myself to guide you along the way and teach you how to do things properly and where you're at now in your life. Because I'm 50 years old. I'll be 51 here in a couple months. Oh, shit, in a month and a half. Damn. So I'm not 25 anymore. So I'm in a different place. But I will say, fitness has also led me to meet a whole plethora of new friends. I am probably the best muscular physical shape I've ever been in my life. Not as much cardio because I can't run a 90-minute soccer game like I used to, but that wouldn't take too long to do that again. But it's really opened up a lot of doors for me. And now you're listening to me wherever you're at and saying, hey, this guy kind of knows what he's talking about sometimes. So I am a sports performance coach now, corrective exercise specialist, yes, personal trainer. And I've been in the fitness business for 18 years. So what became from push-ups and pull-ups in my room has now become an 18-year career. And I have some goals in mind, and we'll see how they play out. But that's how things got started for me. So just wanted to be kind of vulnerable on this episode and share a little bit about me. I try to share some different insights on things, but nothing really truly off the cuff and just giving into my insights and how I feel. So I hope you learn a little bit just about me. Again, nothing too spectacular, but maybe it hits home for you. And you can reflect on where your journey's at and where you want it to go. And if it is something you want to be a career, great. Take the plunge. Get your certification. You don't necessarily have to quit your day job today, but it's something that also can bring you some extra income. So that's all I was to share about today. I know, kind of a funky ending. Like, Matt, is that all? What's the climax? Well, I think the climax is just pursue your passion. Take a risk. I did. And I'm still taking risks. And some pay off and some don't. But you still got to take risks and set your goals for yourself and know that you can look the way you want to if you're willing to put in the work and do some of the sacrifice, regardless of your age and where you're at right now. So do that. Go after it. Go after your goals. Don't be afraid of it. If you fall down the process, it's all right. Get back up. Try it again. I've lost a lot of money. I had to borrow $200 just for groceries on my journey when my checking account got wiped out and I didn't have shit to begin with. So I've been there. I've been very, I'm not going to say destitute, we'll say poor and broke. But you manage to come back and do it together next time. Keep going. So keep going for wherever you're at. And I wish you the best in your journey. And just keep going, man. You'll get there. I promise you. So until next time, this is Matt Peel with the Peel Appeal Podcast. I hope you enjoy this one, and I will talk with you later.
Are you ready to get in the game? Get personal help, sign up for our newsletter, and pick up your copy of Athlete in the Game of Life, the book, all at mattpeel.com. Thanks for listening.